Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 23A of our CSA shares. So we have this week and next week, and then this CSA season is over. One quick announcement is that early bird registration for next season is open. It started on Saturday and runs through the 30th, so make sure you're registering for next year. Gives us, our farmers, an idea of how many people they need to provide produce for, and helps them prep throughout the winter. So good idea to register. Plus you get early bird savings and possible early bird gifts. So keep that in mind. Jumping right into this week's share, we have some new items and then some repeat items that we've had before. This is the last week. If you are an A share week, a half share, this is your last week of the CSA season. For anyone that's a full share or a B share week, you have one more week. So we have next week and then we're done. So we have Swiss chard. Swiss chard is really fun to work with because of the colors. It's a rainbow chard. Great sauteed, great, you can eat it raw. There's a recipe on the blog from this year for pickled chard stems, which actually make amazing toppings for like a hot dog or just as a side. Great for like a charcuterie platter. So take a look at that. That's a great idea to use for the chard stems. The tops can be quickly sauteed. That's how we like to use them. Just a quick saute with some garlic and onion and served as a side. You can put them into omelets. You can put it into, it pairs really well with eggs. So anything egg related, a frittata, an omelet, a quiche. So Swiss chard, stored in the fridge in a plastic bag or a Ziploc bag. Or, a plastic bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag. We also have arugula, and everyone that listens to me throughout the season knows I love the arugula and spinach from the farm. I store it just like this in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. This is probably one of the first items you do want to use. It will last throughout the week, but within the next week, you definitely want to use it or cook it. Arugula is full of amazing vitamins and nutrients. We like to eat it raw, so it's stored in the fridge just like this, unwashed. Once you're ready to use it, soak it, rinse it off, throw it in your salad spinner, get it nice and dry, and then serve, just dress it, simply dress it and serve it as a side. Or you can saute it, you can add it to soups. It's really good on top of pastas. And we have, I'm pretty sure on the blog, there's a arugula and radish pasta. If it's not arugula, it's spinach, and you can kind of intermix them. So you can just swap out one for the other. So really good arugula, stored in the fridge. We have butternut squash. Butternut squash stores really well, so we want to store it in a cool, dry place. Really good, just simply roasted. We like butternut squash soup. You can use it in baked goods, so you can roast it, puree it, and then use it in baked goods. You can do it instead of mashed potatoes or mashed sweet potatoes. You can saute this, puree it, and then do like a butternut squash puree or mash as a side. That works really well as well. You can also grill it. So lots of options there, but this will store. We have sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a nice treat this season. Stored in a cool, dry place. We like to either bake these and serve them as a side, or roast them, peel them, roast them. We just did the other night, I boiled them like I would a mashed potato and made mashed sweet potatoes. Pretty sure this is going to be showcased in this week's recipe. I'm working on a few different ideas, so I need to see how those come out, but possibly a recipe dealing with sweet potatoes coming this week. We have radishes. In this week's share, we have purple daikon and we have watermelon radish. These are stored in the fridge. I just throw them in my crisper drawer. They can be eaten raw or they can be cooked. So raw, I like to thinly slice them. You can serve them on top of, like in a charcuterie board, on top of salads. The watermelon radish is beautiful on the inside. I'm pretty sure there's a watermelon radish pico de gallo on the blog. You can roast these. You can pickle them. And you can also throw them into stir fries. So lots of options there. I tend to like to keep them raw just because they're so beautiful once you cut them, and they kind of add a lot of color to your dishes. So options there. They will last, so they will store. We are still getting tomatoes. Tomatoes are stored on our countertops at room temperature. So I like to just do a quick rinse of them and then dry them off and put them on my counter. Tomatoes are really good just simply sliced, eaten as a snack, served on top of burgers or sandwiches. You can do a tomato salad, or you can turn them into soups, add them into stews or sauces. So options there as well. We have garlic. Garlic's one of my favorites. So stored in a cool, dry place. Garlic is good raw in dressings and marinades. It's good roasted. It's great for your sheet pan meals, for your grill packets. I think we're gonna get a little nice weather this weekend from what I've seen. So we could do some grilling this weekend. Throw together some roasted grilled packets, maybe with your sweet potatoes and your onion and your garlic, maybe your radishes, with a nice protein, and there's your meal. So sheet pan meals, grill packets, you can just roast the whole clove. So chop off the top, drizzle a little olive oil, throw it in the oven and roast the whole clove. And roasted garlic is really good on top of a slice of bread or on top of a cracker. So that's an option as well. And that will store in a cool, dry place away from our potatoes. Sweet onions, stored the same way as our garlic, cool, dry place. These are good sauteed. They're good in our soups, in our stews, in our sheet pan meals, in our grill packets. You can there's a bunch of recipes on the blog. There's whole roasted onions. There's caramelized onion dressing. I know I've done a bunch of recipes that involve onions. You can interchange, if it's calling for a yellow onion or a different kind of onion, you can interchange the sweet onion. We'll change the flavor a little bit, but not a big deal. So use what you have on hand. Those are our sweet onions. We have cabbage. This week I got purple cabbage. This will store really well in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Once you're ready to use it, just peel the outside leaves, throw them in your compost. And you can either serve it raw as like a slaw, you can chop it up and grill it. You can throw it in your stir fries, so really good in stir fry, or just on salads, raw. So lots of options. But this will store, so not something you have to use right away. We have parsley. Parsley is stored exactly how I have it in the fridge. So get a glass of water, throw your parsley right in that, and then put it in your fridge. If you know you're not gonna use it, then you can definitely dehydrate it or freeze it. Dehydrates really well, so you can preserve it for use all winter long. Once it's dehydrated, I like to crumble it up so that it's just easy to sprinkle. Fresh, it's really good on top of salads, just as a garnish, or on top of pastas. It's really good in smoothies. Parsley is known for being really supportive in kidney health, so it's really good to throw a bunch in a smoothie if you're making a smoothie. Otherwise, dressings, marinades, garnish, or preserve. Celeriac, and I think I said it right this time. This is stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. Last week's recipe was a slaw that showcased this. Really good. The flavor is like a celery, like a stronger celery flavor. So you can use it raw like I did in that slaw, or you can peel it, scrub it really good, peel it, chop it up, and it's great for soups and stews or stir fries. And then last but not least, we have leeks. Leeks are stored in the fridge. You can store them just like this, but typically we don't use the tops of the leek. So you can chop the tops off. I like to rinse them off, chop the tops, throw the tops in my veggie broth bag in the freezer because they're gonna really enhance the flavor of my veggie broth. I don't like to waste any food that we get. So throw that in your veggie broth bags. They're great. It's great for flavoring soups and stews. And then your bottoms are what you really want to use. So your lighter part of the leek. Once you're ready to use that, chop them in half, really soak them in water because the dirt can be in between the leaves of the leeks. And then you can chop them up. You can serve them raw, just like you would an onion. You can saute them. You can throw them in soups and stews. You can throw them in grill packets. So anything you would do with an onion. They don't caramelize like an onion would, so you just have to be a little bit more careful. They're more similar to a way a scallion would cook, but definitely really good in garnishes, thinly sliced on top of salads. You could even grill them. You could slice them in half and grill the sides. Just watch them really well. That's it for this week. Stay tuned for Thursday where a new recipe will be posted. Take a look at your inventory from previous weeks. Make sure you note what you still have left and what you need to use. And then if there are any questions, just post on the Facebook group. Be sure to tag me if you need me to help and guide, just so I definitely see the post. And then if you're finding any great recipes, especially soups and stews and things that we would use what we have in our share this week, make sure you're posting that on the Facebook group. And don't forget to pre-register for next season. I will see you all next week.